well, looks like we're reading from different things. Hopefully the mic's not on yet.
Good morning. This is taller than I am. I'm Rachel Starr, and with my colleague Kobe Weinberg, we're co-founders of Chicago Climate Corps, or C3. As Chicagoans, we're especially proud to have built C3, a network of climate leaders aged 25 to 40 who are working to transform our city and the Midwest into a global hub for climate action and innovation.
Today, we're thrilled to announce our partnership with the Aspen Institute to bring Aspen Ideas Climate to Chicago this July. The Midwest stands uniquely positioned to lead on climate action. Our region serves as a hub for critical climate-relevant sectors, including food and agriculture, clean energy, water, transportation, and finance. We're powered by world-class universities, major corporations, committed public leadership, and a skilled industrial workforce, assets that can drive job creation and quality of life improvements while tackling climate challenges.
Aspen Ideas Climate Chicago will bring together regional, national, and international leaders, from community organizers to corporate executives to educators, alongside members of the public to forge partnerships and accelerate climate action throughout the Midwest. Today's panel offers a preview of the exceptional conversations to come, demonstrating how local and regional solutions connect to global climate goals. We're grateful for your partnership in making Chicago and the broader Midwest a catalyst for climate action.
We've been fortunate to work with the Aspen Institute, particularly Greg Rashuni and Kitty Pollack, who are here with us today, to bring Aspen Ideas Climate Chicago to life. The Institute shares a rich history with our city. To tell you more about this connection, please join us in welcoming Margot Pritzker, Chicagoan and chair of the Aspen Institute Board of Trustees.
Good morning and welcome. On behalf of the Aspen Institute, I'm honored to greet you in our great city, a place that's long been a center for ideas and bold leadership. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the Aspen Institute, and Chicago played a vital role in our founding. In 1949, Walter Pepke, a Chicago business leader, gathered thinkers in Aspen, Colorado, to ask a fundamental question: what does a good society look like? That question still drives our work today. The Aspen Institute brings together leaders through fellowship programs that cultivate values-based leadership, policy programs that drive meaningful change, and public dialogues like the Aspen Ideas Festival and Aspen Ideas Climate. Both of those and many other of our public programs to tackle some of the most pressing issues of our time. As a proud Chicagoan, I know this city is leading in climate and energy solutions, food, agriculture, water, and transportation innovation, proving over and over again that the Midwest is shaping the future. We're very grateful to be here today for all the participants and organizers of this get-together leading to our Aspen Ideas Climate in July. But we're recognizing all the time that while Aspen is in our name, Chicago is in our DNA, as we fulfill for 75 years, fulfilling our purpose of igniting human potential, building understanding, and hopefully creating solutions for a better world. So thank you all for being here. And I'm very pleased to bring up my partner and our CEO and President, Dan Porterfield.
Thank you, Margot. It is quite an honor to be introduced in the city of Chicago by Margot Pritzker, a pillar of this community. And thank you, Margot, for all that you do as chair of the Aspen Institute. Governor Pritzker, thank you for joining us today and for your vision about the importance of this city and state and the Midwest as a whole in driving climate and energy solutions for our future. Thank you so much for your support. I'd like to also thank Kobe and Rachel and C3 for their leadership, and to Hire 360 for letting us use this fabulous space. And it's really exciting to see young people on the forefront of organizing the community to bring us together, to make differences that we all need, all know have to be pursued. So you represent the future of leadership in this work, and we at the Aspen Institute are in awe of what you've done and excited to work with you for years and years to come. So please join me in thanking Rachel and Kobe. So as Margot said, this is our 75th anniversary, and Chicago is very much in the Aspen Institute's DNA. And you may know that prior to Margot serving as chair, the late Jim Crown was our chair. And we have gone all across the country to try to make a difference by bringing people together around a single purpose, which is to ignite human potential, to build understanding, and promote new possibilities for a better world. And that is exactly what Aspen Ideas Climate Chicago is all about, igniting the potential we all have to come together, to go deep on the issues, and then with that knowledge and those relationships to work together to address the problems and pursue the opportunities in front of us. And there are opportunities. It's not simply a matter of doom and gloom. There are jobs to create, there are startups to finance, there are communities to empower, there is water to protect, there are children to educate, there is a community to serve and to elevate through this work. This is actually a lever for advancing our shared interests as a society, and certainly the shared interests of Chicagoans. And I think it's pretty cool that Chicago, in the heart of the country, is raising its hand and saying, we are going to lead in drawing attention, not simply to all the things that have gone wrong, but quite the opposite. What are the things that can go right if we put our minds and our hearts and our spines together for change? And as we do that here, partnering with Greg Gershuni, Kitty Pollack, their extraordinary team, we will reach out across the country and around the world to share both what is happening here in Chicago right now, who's making a difference right now, and to draw to the city and to these convenings that we'll have international and national leaders, so that people in other parts of the world can follow the example of what's being done here, and so that the progress that's being done here can hopefully inspire other communities and other places, not to be passive, not to be cynical, which cynicism hasn't solved one problem, but rather to be change-oriented, productive members of a great community. So we hope that Aspen Ideas Climate will bring both new ideas, but also elevate the leaders and the thinkers and the great ideas already being pursued. We hope that you'll make new friends from other parts of the country and the world, and we hope that together we will look back on this first year of Aspen Ideas Climate Chicago and say, just the beginning, more to do. So we at Aspen are proud to join you, and we thank the two of you so much for putting this together. It's now my honor to introduce our host, Jay Rowell, who is the CEO of Hire 360. Jay, thank you so much.
Good morning, and welcome to the Hire 360 Training and Business Development Center. Thank you, Dan, for the kind introduction and for selecting our center for this critical discussion on climate and workforce development. We're honored to host such an important conversation. And we look forward very much to working with Chicago Climate Corps and the Aspen Institute team on this awesome climate summit happening here in July in Chicago. This event really represents a pivotal moment to address the intersection of climate action, workforce opportunity, and we are excited to contribute to this vital dialogue. But before we dive in, I want to take a moment to thank all of you for joining us here today in our newly renovated Training and Business Development Center, and it's great to see so many of our partners like Current, P33, 548, Trajectory, and so many more here with us today. So I'm very proud of the work Hire 360 is doing to create opportunities, whether it's through workforce training, apprenticeship, or business development. As you may know, Hire 360 is a unique non-for-profit partnership of the largest developers, general contractors, and trade unions focused on diversifying the construction industry through 4 pillars. First, we're scaling up over 200 diverse contractors to work on the billions of dollars of construction that's coming to Illinois, including green energy. Second, we're creating diverse supply firms, including the first Black-owned door supplier who's currently building out the space on our loading dock for his firm, and so many more. Third, we've helped get hundreds of candidates into every trade through our pre-apprenticeship program, including through a lot of great work with our partners at ComEd and the Take Charge training program that's focused on EVs and renewable energy. And fourth, we're working to inspire the next generation of construction workers by working with schools to show students how the great careers in construction can change their lives. In just 2 weeks, we'll be hosting over 400 Chicago Public School seniors to learn about renewable energy construction careers. And it will allow us to show off the great training that is provided here by our partners at the Illinois IBEW Renewable Energy Fund. But none of this progress would be possible without the vision and leadership of our next speaker. Under his guidance, Illinois has more than doubled its wind energy production. Illinois in 2003 generated more solar energy than in all the years prior. And Illinois will soon lead the nation in quantum computing, which should help us address climate and so many other pressing issues. So we're proud to partner with the governor's team, the Illinois AFL-CIO, and Climate Jobs to expand our training program statewide, ensuring that residents across the state are prepared for careers in construction and the clean energy sector. It's now my honor to welcome our leader whose vision and commitment has been instrumental to driving this progress on climate action and workforce development. So please join me in welcoming our governor, J.B. Pritzker, to share his insights.
Wow, good morning, everyone. I really am so pleased. Thank you, Jay, for that very kind introduction. I'm so pleased to be here to welcome the Aspen Ideas Climate Conference to Chicago. Our state is a proud leader in the Midwest, in the country, in fighting climate change, and Chicago is the perfect place to host such an important gathering. The Aspen Institute is a venerable organization, unparalleled in its ability to drive productive dialogue around the most important issues of our time. And its partnership with the Chicago Climate Corps will help deliver an outstanding multi-day event, bringing these vital conversations here to Chicago. I want to point out that I checked the weather in Aspen this morning, and it's exactly the same temperature in Aspen as it is in Chicago. So we did that to welcome you to Chicago. But, you know, I want to just offer a special thank you to Dan Porterfield and Margot Pritzker. Did I pronounce that correctly? The Aspen Institute's leadership really is outstanding, and I want to thank you all for choosing Chicago. You are not the first to make this choice to move your conference from Florida, it was in Miami Beach the last time, to Illinois, and you certainly won't be the last to move from Florida to Illinois. No offense to any Floridians in the audience, I don't think there are any, but so it's easy for me to say that. But in Illinois, we have beaches and we believe in science. Our friends Kobe Weinberg and Rachel Starr of the Chicago Climate Corps are the perfect partners to make this possible. They have done some incredible work locally to make sure that, our climate efforts are moving forward, always moving forward. And I'm grateful that they're elevating that work to the national stage, and particularly making sure that we have so many young people involved in this conference, and seeing Chicago as a leader, I think, is an important advancement for the cause of fighting climate change and the cause of the city of Chicago, of course. And lastly, Jay Rowell, thank you. I mean, Anybody who's worked with Jay knows that things get done when Jay's in charge. All of the folks who work here at Hire 360, I'm truly grateful for all the work that you do to train the clean energy and sustainability workforce and to create new opportunities for Illinoisans from, well, all backgrounds. Climate change is one of the defining challenges of this generation. We have already started experiencing the consequences of the world's failure to act more quickly. Extreme temperatures, natural disasters, skyrocketing home insurance rates, resource shortages, and so much else. Lives are at stake, and economic damage is, well, no longer theoretical. We can all see it. Within the challenge that we're experiencing is also an opportunity. Beating climate change will require us to mobilize resources at a scale that, if done correctly, can transform our world for the better. We can build up industries that create jobs and opportunity for our people. We can make our communities cleaner and healthier. We can drive innovation that dramatically improves our collective standard of living. There is both danger and opportunity ahead, but we need to have ongoing, productive, honest, and creative conversations about the road ahead. And we need to take action. There need to be solutions. And before I walked in this room, Dan was emphasizing that very point about what Aspen Institute is all about, and particularly this conference. It's about not just talking about what all the ideas are, but presenting solutions. So with the federal administration retreating from its responsibilities, thought leaders, climate scientists, state-level policymakers, community organizations, and activists must come together and put shoulders to the wheel. It's up to us. It's up to us to get this work done. The Aspen Ideas Climate Conference is the perfect forum to drive progress. Illinois has been on the leading edge. I'm going to brag a little. I hope that's okay. But we've been on the leading edge of fighting against climate change for over 6 years now. Over those years, the General Assembly and I have advanced one of the most ambitious energy and environmental policy agendas in the nation. Our landmark Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, which was very hard to get passed. We worked on that for a year and a half. Where's my deputy governor, Bria Scudder, who was on the front lines trying to get that done. The working groups, I just want you to know, a lot of effort. Doug Scott, sitting in the, raise your hand, Doug, who leads our, Illinois Commerce Commission. But they together and a few others really led the effort for us to get that bill passed. And it was not easy, but we did get a lot of interests working at the table together. Labor, business, the environmental community, which have similar interests but sometimes divergent. And we made it all work. So I'm really proud of the work that they did. Our CEJA actually incentivized tens of billions of dollars of private investment. That's important for us to recognize that this isn't, throwing money down some hole that we're not sure where the end of it is. Actually, it's an investment in the future, and we've seen industries pop up in Illinois that we've never seen before, or some that were very small and now are very large. Renewable and clean energy development and job creation by the thousands is what we've seen. In just the last 3 years, Illinois has doubled its renewable energy production, not just wind, but solar too, I want you to know. And now more than 2/3 of the generation in the state of Illinois comes from clean energy sources. That's not a small number, and there are many states that are behind us. We have a lot of work ahead, there's no doubt, but we're making progress every year, and I'm really pleased about that. Today, Illinois is a net exporter of electricity to the rest of the country. Now, we've explored every avenue that we could find to reduce emissions and grow new green industries, including agriculture, biomanufacturing, carbon capture sequestration, and sustainable aviation fuel, among others. But I want you to know, we haven't really even begun yet. I mean, there's so much more for us to do, and I'm very pleased about the fact that we here in Chicago, we here in the state of Illinois are at the center of it all. Aspen Ideas Climate Chicago belongs here in this state, in this city. and we are so proud to host you. Thank you for being here.